guys, this is chapter 4, I think. This is food, and then I'm going to be reading toys and games. So again, this is all still from Lottie's point of view, so from the Victorian child's point of view. So we're not reading any more of Charlie's, but when we're back at school, if anyone wants to borrow this and read Charlie's point of view, then you're more than welcome to. So, food. Oh, how I long for Mother's cooking. One of her meaty stews bubbling with barley beans and carrots. Or rabbit pie. Mother has such a light touch when it comes to making pastry. Her fruit lettuce pies are famous all over the village, and her suet puddings. If I could only have a plateful of Mother's jam, suet pudding and custard, or even a big doorstep slice of bread and dripping. I have to slice up the bread so thin here. I slice my fingers too, and Louisa won't eat her crusts even then. The baby likes his bread pounded into mush with warm milk. Mother would never dream of pampering us so. We always ate what we were given and chewed it cheerily. Well, mostly. But Louisa always plays around with her food and cries and complains something chronic. And Victor is extremely pernickety for a boy, fussing, if he swallows a little lump in his custard. Sometimes it's all I can do not to grab their plates and eat it up for them because I'm so hungry. I have to manage on nursery food too. No meat at all during the week, and just one slice of the roast on Sundays. I'm allowed 1 egg a week too, but it's a pale, watery thing compared with the deep gold yolks laid by our hens at home. I have to make do with this niminy fare with the merest scrape of butter. The only food that is plentiful is milk pudding. I shall start mooing before long. We don't want you to fall ill with too rich a diet, says the mistress, as if servants have different stomachs from posh folk. Mrs. Angel, the cook, and Eliza, the maid, are supposed to survive on this frugal diet too, but they eat their meals down in the kitchen, and Mrs. Angel is adept at keeping back the choicest portions for their own plates before Eliza serves the master and mistress in the dining room. I have my meals in the nursery, so I miss out on these perks. Mrs. Angel and Eliza treat me like one of the children anyway. They whisper and have secrets and laugh unkindly at the things I say. They are excessively tiresome. They are the most childish pair. I do my best to ignore them, but then Mrs. Angel calls me hoity-toity, and Eliza pulls my hair so that it tumbles down out of my cap. It is hard to bear sometimes. At home, I was always a favourite. At school, I was definitely Mrs. Worthbeck's pet. All the children loved me, even the boys. Yes, even that great lummox, Edward James. But now I am openly despised, and it makes my heart sore. At night I cry into my pillowcase, the sheets pulled right over my head so that the children will not hear me. Victor sees my red eyes in the morning and says that I have been blubbing. Nonsense, I say firmly. I have a slight cold, and that is all. Perhaps that was tempting fate. Now the whole household has gone down with colds, even little baby Freddie. Mrs. Angel has taken to her bed, and Eliza is trying to take charge of the kitchen, but with very bad grace. The mistress says that her ailing children must have calf's foot jelly served to them at every meal. I ask Eliza to prepare it, but she utterly refuses, saying that she has her work cut out as it is, and she cannot abide messing around with lumps of messy meat. So I have to make the jelly. The whole kitchen reeks and the walls glisten as the calves' feet boil and boil and boil, and I skim and skim and skim. And then, when I go to strain the liquid through the jelly bag, my hands slip and disaster! By the time I run out to the butcher's for 6 more calves' feet and started the whole business in motion all over again, I am in such savage spirits that I would cheer if a whole herd of calves stamped through the house and trampled everyone within it with their poor feet. That's the end of food. This chapter is going to be about toys and books. And again, it's from Lottie's point of view. Toys and books. I cannot believe the toys the children have here. Victor has a dappled rocking horse as big as the old pony in the field behind our cottage at home. It's such a splendid creature with a curly mane and a long tail of real horse's hair, a red saddle and reins, and great green rockers. Louisa begs and begs Victor to let her take a turn, but he will rarely agree. Once, when the children were downstairs with the mistress, I stood staring at the rocking horse. Before I knew what I was doing, I had hitched my skirts above my knees and clambered onto the saddle. I touched the curly mane and stroked the smooth, shining wood, and then I dared lean forward and rock once, twice, 3 times. The rockers creaked, and I did not dare persist in case they could hear me down below. Louisa's china doll seemed to watch with her blue glass eyes. Her painted red lips were open as if she might tell, but I must not be fanciful. She's only a doll, but a beautiful doll all the same, with golden ringlets and 3 sets of fine clothes. She even has little lace mittens for her tiny china fingers. Imagine! I have had to help Louisa on and off of those clothes, stripping the doll right down to her white silk drawers. She has 3 petticoats, 2 silk and 1 flannel, and a white cotton stockings, and little soft kid shoes, 3 pairs in black and grey and pink for parties. 3 pairs of shoes for a doll that cannot walk. Rose and Jessie and I have never had soft shoes. We'd run around barefoot in the summer and plod in our old boots throughout the winter. How Rose and Jessie would love Louisa's dolls, and the doll's house with all the furniture, little chairs and tables, a 4-poster bed no less, and even a miniature mop and mangle in the scullery. We had our own halfpenny dolls at home, 1 each in our Christmas stockings, and we'd sew them little dresses and make them a home in an old wooden crate, the same crate that was once our Frank's boat and carriage. Sometimes I gave baby Ada May a ride in that old crate, and she crowed with delight. Oh, how I miss her. How I miss Rose and Jessie. I even miss Frank. I miss dear mother most of all. I write to her once a week, unburdening my heart. I hope Rose reads my letters properly to mother. She can read well enough when she wants, but she hurries so over the words. Mother was kept at home as a child to mind her own young brothers and sisters, so she never learnt to read. She used to marvel after I went to the village school and learnt to spell out words. Miss Worthbeck let me read aloud to the children on Friday afternoons from wonderful storybooks, Alice and the Water Babies, and some of Mr. Dickens' books. I do not wish to boast, but she once said I had shining intelligence. My shining intelligence is tarnishing rapidly now that I am a nursery maid.